Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin and fighting fascism. Jeez! Come on. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Satwise. Jenks, what up, Satwise? Good to see you in the chat. Welcome, everybody. I was a little bit late. I barely made it home on time. I had to do something for work, and yeah, it was wild. But I just got home like a minute ago. No, like 5 minutes ago. But we're here. I was gonna cancel the show today, but I figured I could make it home. So I made it. Here we are, and been kind of busy. So this morning, if there's anything new that came out, I must have missed it. But it looks like we're at we'll get into the price of Bitcoin in a second. I think tonight, or later today, or maybe later today. Anyway, sometime after 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I think the Japanese have to decide if they're going to raise their interest rate or not, or leave it as it is. If the Japanese raise their interest rate, that'll trigger one of those Japanese carry trade dips. So, I think, is that what you're referring to, Satwise? The possibility of the Japanese raising the rate and causing a little bit of a dip. In either case, hopefully, if you have the cash waiting for a dip, hopefully you get filled on your buy. But here on the show, we're going to continue to buy regardless of the price. Whatever the price is when we happen to go live, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is the price we're buying at, because that is the price we deserve today. All right, so let's jump into the first segment of the show, guys. Let's get into, of course, where is it? The Bitcoin strength. Yes, today the price of Bitcoin is $103,413.73. It just went up a little bit. You can buy 967 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So there you go. You can buy 9 Satoshis for a single penny today. Okay? All right. That said, that is the Bitcoin strength. And it's pretty wild. It's crazy to see that. Shout out, round of applause for Pipeline Podcast. What up? Good to see you in here. Ah, man. I need a drink. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Refreshing. All right. So there it is. That is the Bitcoin strength. And let's talk about some stuff today, guys. So I've been thinking about how we signed off the show yesterday. Oh, shoot. Thank you. I've been thinking about how we signed off the show yesterday. And how, I don't know, I was feeling a little bit down. I was feeling kind of upset about just like the way people I don't know how to explain it. The way people just accept the vileness of the Trump administration, of the Trumpers, the support for like Nazi fascist ideas, and in the seemingly in the world of Bitcoin, a lot of bros are all for that, you know, and like I feel like it's something that I just can't get on board with. I can't get on board with supporting, being associated with, or providing any kind of aid, comfort, or benefit to any Nazi supporting, whether directly or indirectly, or just sympathizing with any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm not a political dude, I guess. I don't care about politics too much. But Nazism is a whole different level, right? Where this is what happens. If you don't say something, you're part of the problem, right? So what I've decided to do is, I mean, talk about stuff that's just from my point of view, in my opinion, right? It's just the right thing to do, right? It's the right thing to do. You don't support Nazis. Come on, it's like, does somebody really have to say that? Yeah, I guess we do now, right? So, looking at all of the Nazi sympathizers, spineless, fascist collaborators I see on X, it just it's overwhelming, and you feel like, geez, is everybody like this? Are all Bitcoiners Trump supporters? There's no freaking way, dude. No way. I refuse to compromise my morals, my beliefs. I'm not even that religious. But if I was religious, when I was Catholic, I used to be Catholic. I got baptized. I did my first communion. I did my confirmation. So I'm Catholic, right? To see what this person is doing, what they're supporting, what the ideas they're spreading, is that the teachings of God, the teachings of whatever God you believe in? Are those the teachings to enrich yourself at the expense of the lesser, to treat people like trash, right? To treat people in that way, to cause. Anyway, just I shouldn't have to. In this day and age, we shouldn't have to sit here and talk about why Nazism is bad, or that Nazism is bad, or like fascism is bad. Like, we shouldn't have to like discuss it, but I guess we do nowadays, right? So, with that said, I don't really care if you're a Trump supporter. If you're watching, you can watch and be a Trump supporter. But anything that's Trump support in any way in the chat or whatever, I'm gonna delete it. And if you keep it up, I'll just block you, because I don't care at this point, right? My morals are more important to me than having somebody watch the show that is a fascist Nazi supporter. Okay, so I know it sounds messed up, but there's plenty of shows for you to go watch that are about Bitcoin that also align with your beliefs in that way, if you need to, I guess, right? But as for me, I'm looking to find my community. Okay, I don't want to grow my community off of someone else's community, where the community is full of backwards thinking, fascist, Nazi sympathizers. I want a community of people that understand that Nazism is bad, that fascism is bad, and also are interested in Bitcoin. Okay, I want to help Bitcoiners, or I want to help all Bitcoiners, right? But I don't want to be associated or affiliate with anything that has to do with Trump, with his movement of hate. So I'm looking for people that can hold the two ideas, that you can be pro Bitcoin and not pro Nazi, right? It's a pretty low bar. I thought it was a pretty low bar, but then I jump on like Twitter or X, and there's quite a few people that are against Trump and his fascist Nazi ways and understand what's happening. And there's significantly more people that are pro whatever Trump says just because he said Bitcoin. Okay, so I refuse to compromise my values, my morals, because a snake oil salesman said Bitcoin. Okay, so if you're pro Bitcoin but against hate, this is a show for you. Okay, welcome. Okay, we're pro Bitcoin, against hate. You don't have to be a Nazi to like Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is for everyone. Okay, so there you go. Simple as that. I kind of want to just clear the air, and maybe that's what my show's been missing. You know, my show's been missing a little bit of controversy, a little bit of sting from saying things like this. That you don't have to be a Trump supporter to love Bitcoin. If anything, what Trump is doing and what fascists do, consolidate power into the hands of few, is exactly what Bitcoin was supposed to fix. Okay? So in my mind, you cannot be a true Bitcoiner, a true maxi, and also cheer for the consolidation of power into fewer hands, the consolidation of wealth in fewer hands by the policies that this person's putting in place, right? So you can do whatever you want. It's your politics, it's your life, right? But for me, those two things do not fit. Those two puzzle pieces do not fit in. Okay, you can't say you're pro peace, you're pro freedom for everybody, right? Separate the money from the state, and then go to bat for this scumbag, right? You're saying one thing, but you're doing something else, right? You can't say, oh yeah, he's gonna be the peace president, and he's over there trying to pick a fight, trying to start wars with Mexico, with Panama over the canal, with threatening basically in a sly way, in a roundabout way, in a dog whistle way, threatening to invade Canada. What do you think he's gonna say? What do you think he's gonna do? Like if Canada says, if he says, like, oh, we're gonna take part of Canada, Canada's gonna be like, okay, go ahead, take Canada. You think it's gonna be a war with one of our freaking neighbors that we've been at peace with forever? One of our allies, right? Same thing with Mexico. What? You guys don't think they're gonna start a war? They're gonna start a war with Mexico? They're gonna start a war with Mexico. They already have the executive order to go into Mexico to fight cartels, right? That's just stuff's gonna hit the fan anyway. The whole point here is that I'm gonna start saying some more stuff that maybe if you're like a Nazi sympathizing Bitcoiner, you might not like. So there you go. I'm saying it. It's out there. And welcome. This is a show for people that are trying to learn about Bitcoin and that don't want to hear how Trump is some kind of good president. He's a piece of crap. He is a Nazi on a way to trying to be a dictator. And we got to call it what it is. Okay? Call it what it is. He's a hateful dude, and he's going to basically sell the U.S. and our interests to the highest bidder to enrich himself and his friends. And he's going to loot our treasury by giving the very same people you saw behind him on that stage when he was getting inaugurated, by giving those very same people that are already holding more money that you can ever dream of, like all the people that are standing behind him maybe hold over like $2 trillion worth of wealth in the world, right? $2 trillion worth of wealth. That's a lot of money. He's gonna give those guys more tax cuts, and he's gonna make the people that are just working regular jobs cover that cost, right? To make sure that they're richer than rich, so he can continue to have access to their money and political power. Okay, he's selling out everything you thought you voted for. Okay, he's gonna give you some wars. He's not gonna lower the price of anything, and he's gonna make your life overall worse. Okay, because even if you're a hardcore maggot, and you think that you're somehow owning liberals by voting for this man, unless you're Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or have a similar amount of wealth, you are in the same bus as the libs, bro. Okay, you are gonna be affected by the same policies that the liberals you thought you owned are gonna be dealing with. Okay. So anyway, we'll see those fireworks when those fireworks when they get here. But let's get back to Bitcoin now. I know. So expect a little bit more of this stuff, guys. It's a little bit controversial. I'm gonna start throwing up some more controversial looking thumbnails, and all with an effort to attract people that need to know about Bitcoin. I think at this point, a lot of people that are on the left, or a lot of people that don't want anything to do with Trump or his Nazi views or ways, will shy away from Bitcoin because they're going to see an association with it, right? And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to support Trump to be a Bitcoiner. Okay, you can be a Bitcoiner and hold your own set of morals and hold your own beliefs, and they can't do a damn thing about it. Okay, and actually holding Bitcoin is going to be the only way for you to really shield yourself from the theft that's coming. Okay, so the way to bring it all back to Bitcoin is, if you don't like what Trump is going to do, if you don't like what he's doing, defund Trump, saving Bitcoin. That's the simplest way to do it. Defund the Nazis, saving Bitcoin. Okay, I know it sounds weird because a lot of them also hold Bitcoin, right? But the way they're doing it is by looting the treasury, and the treasury gets money from your savings in dollars, and we remove our savings from dollars, removes the resource that can come and take via inflation. Okay, all right, let's go into the Why We Stack segment. Oh, it's gonna be a long episode. Why we stack? We stack because this is the only way that the powers that be, that the government, whatever country you're in, cannot steal your future prosperity from you and use it without your permission for whatever they want, for whatever war. This is the way you stop the war machine. This is the way you stop them from doing all the crazy stuff that they said they're going to do. You defund them by taking your wealth out of the system and saving it into Bitcoin and taking it into your own custody so that they can't reach it no matter how hard they try. All right, that's what you do. You delete Facebook, you delete X, and you delete TikTok. I just deleted my Facebook a couple days ago. I haven't deleted TikTok yet, but I will. And I just started TikTok too. I just started TikTok about at the beginning of the year. But then now it's also like, anyway, it's a whole different topic. We'll talk about that tomorrow maybe. And I've been on Twitter since 2009. On Twitter since 2009. I'm debating whether to delete that or not too. I should delete it. Right? I should delete it. But I like to troll people that are like diehard Trumpers on X. So I don't know, I might keep it. But there's also social media site I do recommend is Blue Sky. I found a bunch of pretty well-informed Bitcoin maxis out there on Blue Sky that are also, guess what, not Nazis. Wow! I found them. I found my group. I found my guys. I found my people. Bitcoin maxis that are not morally corrupt and fascist sympathizers can be found on Blue Sky. So if you're on Blue Sky, if you were on Twitter or on X and you had to leave or stop using it because you couldn't put up with all the hate, all the bigotry, check out Blue Sky. Blue Sky is the place that is not, it won't put up with with fascism and random racist stuff. So go check him out. and if you get on Blue Sky, follow me on there. Blue Sky, there it is. Roman, since we don't want to be a sellout or a Trump like BTC or a Trumper like BTC, would we only buy Bitcoin Cash now? See, that is exactly the problem, Jake. That you think Trump is Bitcoin and he's not. Bitcoin was around before Trump decided to come along and try to put his stamp on it, like he tries to put a stamp on everything else. Okay. You can be a Bitcoiner and not compromise your values as a human, your morals, your religious morals, your beliefs, to support Trump, right? You can just be honest with yourself. I mean, you might believe that he's doing good for society or good for humanity, but he's a fucking Nazi, dude, right? He's a Nazi straight up. Okay, and if he's not a Nazi, he sure walks and he sure acts like one. His policies are Nazi-like, right? The guy that bought him the presidency, Elon, is a Nazi, right? It's like, how blank can you be? And if you don't want to see that, that's fine. You can not see that, and that's cool, right? But Bitcoin is not Trump. Okay, it's Bitcoin, not crypto. Just like it's Bitcoin, not Trump coin. Okay. Just the fact that he dropped 2 meme coins on the world before his inauguration, a couple of days before, should tell you he's not a Bitcoiner, right? And even if he does hold Bitcoin, who cares? The whole point is, Bitcoin is like it's like fire, dude. When you have fire, and you have a stove, or whatever, or you have or you need gunpowder, right? Or you need the circle, the wheel, right? You can't come along and say, "Oh, you're welcome, world, for giving you fire. I use fire, so therefore I gave you fire. Therefore, if you like fire, you must support this guy." Such bullshit, dude. That's a bullshit argument. You know, it's the same thing. Bitcoin was around before Trump found it, right? I found Bitcoin before Trump. You even found Bitcoin before Trump. Trump doesn't even understand Bitcoin in the first place anyway. Even now, he still doesn't understand it. He just knows that if he says it, idiots without any critical thinking skills will be like, "Oh, he said Bitcoin. He must be the Bitcoin president. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'll support him. Here's my vote." You said Bitcoin, right? It's like stupid. Even if you remember his speech he gave at the Bitcoin magazine thing, Tennessee, right? Where he showed up and he's talking a bunch of baloney and he's all over the place with crypto and Bitcoin and AI, right? And then he said something about firing Gary Gensler, and then everybody in the room was like, "Yeah, fire Gary. Yeah, fire Gary." And you can see how he works, dude. Look at his face. He's like, "Ooh, if I say fire Gary Gensler, the crowd will cheer. Well, okay, then. Well, it seems like you guys really like that, so I'll say it again. We're gonna get rid of Gary Gensler on day 1," and everybody's like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "Okay, that's it. That's what he does, dude. He tells you what he thinks. He tells you what you want to hear, so that you will vote for him. And then once he's got power, he forgets about you unless he needs you for something else. Okay, it's just how it works. It's like, don't kid yourself, dude. Okay, Bitcoin was going up under Biden, right? In spite of Operation Choke Point 2.0, right? Operation Choke Point 2.0 should have killed Bitcoin. It didn't kill Bitcoin. Okay, TikTok next block. Every 10 minutes, we're still getting a new block. Okay, so it's just like Bitcoin is unstoppable. Okay, And just because you come along and say, oh yeah, I'm pro Bitcoin, now you're the Bitcoin something. That doesn't matter. Like, Bitcoin doesn't need Trump. Bitcoin doesn't need Biden. You know, if Trump tries to stop Bitcoin right now, he can't. He can't. Okay. He's gonna try to make all of mining, all the Bitcoin mining happen in the U.S. right? So he can. Anyway, it's not gonna affect. Like, Bitcoin is gonna go up regardless of who's in office, just because of the cycle, and because there's more buying pressure from institutions as it is, right? Like the ETFs, right? Other institutions buying, right? Trump is buying Bitcoin, or would buy Bitcoin if he's smart enough. He would buy Bitcoin if he would buy Bitcoin, not because he thinks it's something good for the country, right? He'll do it to be the first at something, right? Because he's an egomaniac, a narcissist, right? He won't do it because it's a right thing to do. He'll do it to be the first of someone to do it, right? I mean, if you look at it that way, whatever, he does a strategic Bitcoin reserve, or whatever you want to call it. That's great. That works for me, right? Like, I'm not gonna be upset about that, right? But I'm not gonna support him still, because even if someone else was in office, they would eventually come to the same conclusion that Bitcoin is unstoppable, and he who has more Bitcoin wins, right? So it would have happened anyway, even if Kamala would have won. Maybe not right away, but everything is going that way anyway. So it's already checkmate. Koji in the house. What up? Good to see you in here. Sorry for the long talk there. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Koji, for Jake Thomas. Welcome to the stream. All right, we did the Why We Stack segment, or no? Let's do it. Let's do Why We Stack. And if we already did it, we'll do a double Why We Stack. Why we stack? We save in Bitcoin, because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked, for as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. And that is how you defund the government. You take your wealth, and instead of saving it in dollars, where they can be debased via inflation, where your purchasing power gets leached away via inflation and used for things like wars without your permission, you take that value and save it in Bitcoin instead. And now you have an asset that's appreciating against the dollar, that's making you more wealthy, that's giving you more purchasing power over time. And it's keeping the powers that be from using that value for things without your permission. It's pretty sweet, huh? Stack as many as you can. Keep it all. That's right. Keep at it. That's right, Koji. Thanks for tuning in, dude. I appreciate you showing up. But that is Why We Stack. Plain and simple. I think it's a double dip on the Why We Stack, but whatever. Why We Stack, that is it. We're also here on the show, we save in Bitcoin. We buy about $20 worth of Bitcoin every day here on the show. And today we're going to do that. But first, let's see how much we're going to buy. If we're going to buy $20, $40, or $80 today. Okay? So let's jump into that. Let's jump into the stack recap. Stack recap, because we don't only talk about Bitcoin here on the show. We actually buy it every weekday, Monday through Friday. Here it is. We started tracking our buys just this year on the 2025 sheet. We also have a continuous sheet that tracks our buys from the beginning of the show, which was May 22nd, 2023, pizza day. And so just in 2025, we're up about 6%. The current price of Bitcoin is $104,000. Our average buy price for 2025 is $98,000. So today we're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin. We're going to put that right here in this line here. So what's today? 22nd? 23rd. 123.25. All right. So that is the status for our 2025 stack. This is the status for our stack since the beginning of the show. It also accounts for the 2025 purchases. So we've saved about $11,329 into Bitcoin, and that amount of Bitcoin is now worth $24,508. In other words, it would cost $119% more dollars today of today's weaker dollars to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. Okay, so now that we know how much Bitcoin we need to buy today, there's only one thing left to do. Cut that music and kick this music. Time to stack some Bitcoin. All right, let's get the stack done. We buy Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, minimum of $20 to show average everyday people how easy it is to save in Bitcoin and show the process, show the progress of the purchasing power of our savings just increasing over time. Just as, So I'm gonna go over here to the Strike app here. Boom. I'm gonna hit buy. Boom. And I'm gonna type in 20 for $20, okay? And that $20 is queued up. I hit next. Then I cut the music. Start the drum roll, please, and hit confirm. Boom. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now on the Stack Bitcoin show. That's $20. That's $20 less that the Trump administration can reach and steal value from via inflation. Okay? So how do you fight Trump? How do you fight the fascists? You do it by saving in Bitcoin. Because saving in Bitcoin takes the value of your savings away from the grasp of inflation, which is a process they use to devalue to steal your purchasing power and use it for wars and other things that you don't necessarily agree with. Okay? There it is. There it is. Okay, let's update the spreadsheet with today's buy. Let's see, boom. We bought at 104,475.25 Bitcoin. All right, that's not bad. About $20 worth. 0.0001897. Bitcoin, that's how much? 18,971 Satoshis. There it is, just like that. Bam. Bam. We'll take this, I'm gonna copy it over. It's over here. Where is it? Copy it over to the spreadsheet for the whole history of the show. Every single buy has got its own episode. Just about every single buy here has its own episode of the show. There it is. $20 saved to the stack, and the value of our stack is now what is it? We have 0.32875,009 Bitcoin. The goal is to get to 1 Bitcoin here on the show. That is my goal. We'll see what happens. Get to 1 Bitcoin without compromising my morals and carrying water and going up to bat for the fascists in chief. Okay? That's it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. We're starting from scratch, basically, guys. We're starting from scratch with our audience because I don't want fascist Bitcoiners in here. I only want Bitcoiners that believe that hate is wrong, that fascism is wrong and Nazis are bad. Okay? Nazis be gone. Anyway, that is it. That's all I got for you guys today. Let's wrap up the show. I know. I'm gone crazy, guys. I'm gone crazy. There it is. That's all I got for you guys today on this episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. We're going to get a little bit crazy. We are the resistance to these fascists, to these Nazis. Okay? We got to speak up for what we know is right. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. So anyway, stay vigilant. keep your eyes out. Call out fascism. Call out racism. Call out hate. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.